The first thing the Carthan Deep Space Listening Array noticed was silence. That alone was wrong. The void between the Perseid Reach and the outer spiral arm was never truly silent. There were always whispers, cosmic background radiation, the hum of distant pulsars, the flare of newborn stars, the static murmur of long-dead civilization satellites still screaming into nothing. But for 3.2 seconds, every sensor buoy across a 6 light-year spread went dark. Then something answered. High Commander Telvor of the Carthan Dominion leaned forward as the holographic projection stabilized in the center of the war chamber. The officers surrounding him shifted uneasily as data cascaded in luminous columns. "Repeat the reading," Telvor said, his voice low and edged. "We already have, Commander. 3 separate arrays confirm it, something translated into real space inside the dead zone." "Nothing can translate inside a gravitational shear pocket," Telvor snapped. "The tidal forces would tear it apart." "Yes, Commander." The projection sharpened. A silhouette formed. Massive, angular, wrong. Even in incomplete resolution, it radiated menace. Length, unknown. Mass, fluctuating. Energy signature, unstable but controlled. Propulsion type, not recognized. Weapon arrays, numerous. "Origin," Telvor demanded. "Unknown." The word hung like poison. The Carthan Dominion cataloged every known warp signature, every drive architecture, every empire's engine harmonics. Nothing moved in the galaxy without leaving a fingerprint. This had none. "It appeared," Rinthal continued carefully, "as if it did not travel here, as if it simply decided to exist." A murmur rippled through the chamber. Telvor rose from his throne platform and approached the projection. The warship rotated slowly in the hologram, black against the starlit background, its hull absorbing light rather than reflecting it. No visible running lights, no identifying markers, just a predatory stillness. "Scan for life signs." Minimal biological readings, majority mechanical, crew size estimated at under 500. Laughter broke from one of the junior tacticians. 500? That vessel is the size of a siege fortress. It should require 10,000. Renthal's frills twitched uneasily. "It appears highly automated." Telvor studied the shape. Long forward prongs like the mandibles of a predator. Central core thick with layered armor. Rear engine structures arranged in a circular configuration, unlike any known warp ring. "Broadcast challenge," Telvor ordered. A communications officer complied. "Unknown vessel, you are within Carthan Dominion monitored territory. Identify yourself immediately." Silence. 5 seconds. 10. Then the unknown ship moved. Not forward, not backward. It vanished. The entire war chamber erupted in alarm. "Where? Tracking lost. Commander, gravitational spike." The ship reappeared directly behind the nearest Dominion patrol cruiser, less than 200 kilometers off its stern. Impossible. No warp wake, no slipstream distortion, no transition signature. It was simply there. Before the cruiser could rotate shields, a beam lanced from the unknown warship's forward prongs. White, thin, precise. The Dominion shields flared once. Collapsed. The beam punched through hull, reactors, and command core in a single line. The vessel split in half, fragments drifting silently into vacuum. The unknown warship did not pursue the debris. It turned, slowly, and faced the Dominion's outer defense ring. In the war chamber, no one spoke. Telvor felt something ancient coil in his gut. Fear. "Full fleet mobilization," he said quietly. 3 light-years away, aboard the Carthan dreadnought Vraxiel Dominus, Fleet Lord Koresh stared at the incoming telemetry. "One ship?" he asked.
Yes, Fleet Lord. Koresh's mandibles clicked in irritation. One ship destroys a patrol cruiser, and you summon the third armada? The translation method is unknown. The weapon signature bypassed shields. Koresh leaned back in his command cradle. All shields can be bypassed with sufficient energy. This was not brute force, Fleet Lord. It was surgical. Koresh did not like uncertainty. Fine, he said at last. Bring the fleet to combat readiness. We will surround it and demand surrender. He paused. Capture, if possible. I want to know how it moves. Inside the unknown warship, Captain Elena Virelli stood before a curved viewport that showed nothing but stars. She clasped her hands behind her back. Status, she said calmly. Dominion fleet mobilizing. 47 capital ships, hundreds of escorts. Elena allowed herself a small smile. Good. Chief Engineer Malik Okoye's voice came over internal comms. Drive core stable, quantum anchor holding. We can reposition at will. Not yet, Elena said. Let them surround us. Ma'am? They need to see it. On the central display, Dominion ships began translating in. Massive, wedge-shaped dreadnoughts, carrier hulks bristling with fighter bays, cruiser lines forming an encirclement pattern. 47 capital ships.
Against 1. Arjun exhaled slowly. Odds are unpleasant. Elena turned to face her crew. Odds are irrelevant. She stepped toward the tactical display. The ship's AI, designation Athena, projected a predictive model of the battlefield. Red markers filled the sphere around them. We are not here to survive, Elena said. We are here to make a statement. Fleet Lord Koresh watched as his ships completed the encirclement. The unknown vessel remained motionless at the center, almost patient. Broadcast, Koresh ordered. Unknown warship, you are surrounded by the third armada of the Carthan Dominion. Power down your weapons and prepare to be boarded. For a moment, nothing. Then a signal returned. Encoded. Strange. Translated slowly by Dominion linguistics matrices. A voice emerged over the bridge speakers. Clear. Human. This is United Earth Vessel Conqueror. You have trespassed upon protected human expansion corridors. Withdraw immediately or be removed. Silence gripped the bridge. Human? Koresh muttered. The Dominion had records of humans, newcomers from a minor spiral arm region, industrious, adaptive, politically fragmented but technologically competent. They were not a threat. They had never fielded warships larger than frigates in known engagements. Koresh's eyes narrowed. You are in Dominion territory, he replied coldly. Your species has no claim here. The human captain answered without hesitation. We claim what we can hold. Koresh felt a flicker of annoyance. Fire warning salvo. 3 Dominion cruisers unleashed synchronized plasma lances. The beams converged on the Conqueror. Impact, light exploded around the human ship. When it cleared, the Conqueror remained untouched. No shield flare, no energy dispersion. The beams had simply bent, arced around the hull like water around stone. What? Before Koresh could finish, the human vessel vanished again, reappearing directly above the flagship. Alarm screamed. Gravitational anomaly. Boarding signatures detected. What? Inside the Vraxial Dominus, space itself rippled. Blue-white apertures tore open across the command deck. Human soldiers stepped through, armored in matte black exosuits, weapons humming with contained energy. Koresh stared in disbelief. Teleportation, direct insertion through shields. The humans moved with terrifying precision, targeting officers first, weapon stations, communications arrays. Not indiscriminate slaughter, strategic decapitation. Koresh lunged for his sidearm but froze as a rifle leveled at his head. Through the armored visor, he saw human eyes, cold, focused. You're coming with us, the soldier said.
Back aboard the Conqueror, Captain Varelli watched as the Fleet Lord was escorted onto her bridge via quantum aperture. She studied him for a long moment. "This is not conquest," she said evenly. "This is demonstration." Koresh bared his teeth. "You will not survive Dominion retaliation." Elena stepped closer. "You misunderstand." She gestured to the display. Every Dominion ship was now locked in place, engines disabled by precision strikes, weapon arrays severed, communications jammed, not destroyed, neutralized. "We could have annihilated your fleet. We chose not to." Koresh's eyes flicked to the tactical readout. It was true. The human ship had outmaneuvered, outpositioned, and outmatched 47 capital ships under 6 minutes. "How?" he whispered. Elena's gaze hardened. "You assumed we were small because we were quiet." She turned back toward the stars. "Humanity spent a century studying you, your tactics, your politics, your arrogance." Malek's voice came over comms. "Dominion reinforcements inbound, large signatures." Elena smiled faintly. "Good." She faced Koresh one last time. "Now we show you what conquest actually looks like." The Conqueror's hull began to shift, plates sliding, sections expanding, energy levels spiking beyond anything the Dominion had ever recorded. In somewhere deep in space, something ancient and patient began to awaken, responding to a signal only humans could send. The war had just begun.